Good morning, you guys. This morning we're on our second uh, law of exponents. This again is another pretty easy one. Yesterday we talked about anything to the zero power. Today we're going to talk about negative exponents, anything to a negative power. If you'll look on the screen right now, if you want to pause and write this down somewhere. This is the negative exponent law. You need to put this in your notes or have this beside you today. It's a pretty simple rule. If you follow it, we're going to be using it a lot. You're going to need to have this in your tools and in your notes so you don't have to constantly go back to my videos. But the negative exponent law says that any number to a negative power is equal to 1 over that number to a positive. So any number to a negative power is equal to 1 over that number to the positive. So yes, basically all you're doing is taking the base and then writing the base, changing the power of the base to a positive and writing it under 1. For example, 2 to the negative 3 is the same as 1 over 2 to the third, and that equals 1 over 8. So this would be 2 to the negative third. This is rewriting it with a positive exponent. You're going to have a question today. If you're asked to rewrite it with a positive exponent, you would write it this way. You'll see an example in a minute. This way also would be, this is evaluating it. This would be saying 2 to the negative 3. If they want you to evaluate that, they want you to put it in its simplest terms. I'm going to show a couple of examples. I'm not going to really go into the whole intuition about this because I don't want to make you watch a video that's that long. If we were in class, I would actually have you figure this out by yourself, but I'm just going to show some examples that you can use today in today's assignment. Your assignment's going to be in quizzes like it was yesterday. There's some questions about, I've snuck in a question about a zero exponent. I've stuck in a question about parts of the exponential, and then just a bunch of questions about negative exponents. So if you're going to watch my example, I'm just going to show you that, for example, if you are given, let's say we are given 3 to the negative third power. Now, if that was 3 to a positive third, we would be telling ourselves that we're doing constant multiplication. 3 times 3 times 3. But what this is saying here is we actually have the opposite. We have a negative exponent, which means instead of that multiplication, what's the opposite of multiplication is division. So if we're going to divide, we're going to write something as a fraction. So what quite simply you're going to do is write this as a fraction, 1 over 3, and we're going to take that negative exponent and make it positive. Now, what you've just done is rewritten with a positive exponent, and that's what we always want to do. We don't ever want to give anything right now. You're a lot of times going to be asked to get rid of the negative exponent. That's what you're doing. You're writing here with a positive exponent. The next thing that you might be asked to do is to evaluate it. The way we would evaluate this is quite simply 3 to the negative third equals 1 over 3 to the third, which means 1 over 3 times 3 times 3 equals 1 over 27. This would be what is known as evaluating. This is taking 3 to the negative third, writing it with a positive exponent, then evaluating, showing what the final simplest answer would be. Today, most of the questions that you're going to have in the assignment are going to be saying, what is 3 to the negative third, or what is the number evaluated? And you'll give an answer like this, but you will have 1 or 2, I think, that says, just tell me how this would look with a positive exponent. So you need to pay attention. I'll show you another example. Let's just do 4 to the power of negative 2. Okay, so if we were going to write that with a positive exponent, so if I'm asked to just write this with a positive exponent, I would write this the law of exponent says just write this as 1 over, keep the base the same, and then make the exponent that was negative positive. So this is rewriting with a positive exponent. Evaluating would be 4 to the negative 2 equals 1 over 4 to the positive 2. You don't have to write it all the way out. You can just say what is 4 squared, or 4 to the positive second power, and that would be 1 over 16. So this is writing it with a positive exponent. This is evaluating it all the way out. If you can show this in your work today on the assignment, that would be great. I posted a video on how to show your work today and post it to Google Classroom. I hope you watch that. I'm going to give you one more example. What about, and this is where people get confused, what if I give you negative 6 to the negative second power? Okay, the rules don't change, and remember, it's very important that the only thing we're changing, we're keeping the base the same. The base stays negative. A lot of students think that this completely removes the negative. That's not true. It only removes the negative from the exponent. So this becomes negative 6 to the negative second power becomes 1 over negative 6 to the second power. We only make the exponent positive, not the base. So if you were asked to evaluate this, this would be negative 6 to the negative second power equals 1 over negative 6 to the second power equals 1 over, and if you got on a calculator and did negative 6 times negative 6, you would get positive 36. Please use your calculators for this stuff. I hope this helps. I've also put a mashup video to help you. So please watch out. Watch the video over and over. Please send me any questions that you might have.